I am Professor Kyle Danielson. I am a teaching stream assistant professor here at the University of Toronto Scarborough. I'm a developmental psychologist, which means that I predominantly look at how humans develop psychologically across the lifespan. My research focus in my PhD program and continuing now is with infants and infant language development. So the way that babies, and particularly bilingual babies, learn more than one language at the same time. Here at U of T, I teach a lot of courses because I'm teaching streams, so that means that most of my job is teaching, not research. So I teach, the biggest class that I teach when most students will meet me is the second half of Intro to Psychology, so that's Introduction to Clinical, Developmental, Social, and Personality Psychology, which is Sci-AO2. And then I teach a bunch of developmental psychology courses, including a class on aging, which is Sci-C21, a class on adolescence, which is Sci-C24. I teach a D-level seminar on language development, and then I also teach the honors thesis course, Sci D98. So if a student ends up writing an honors thesis at the end of their program, they take that course with me as well. My primary research interest is in language development among babies, so I mostly work with 6 to 12-month-old infants in their language acquisition, specifically speech perception work. But because I'm teaching stream faculty here and not research faculty, I don't have a ton of research funding or a big lab, and doing research with babies is very expensive and very time-consuming. So I still have some collaborations in the world of baby research, but my research here now is predominantly concerned with pedagogical research, so that is like how to be a more effective teacher, how I can sort of craft my classes to be classes that students learn really well in. And I'm specifically really interested in questions about mental health in students in the university level, and particularly in elite universities like ours. I see a lot of students suffering from anxiety disorders related to their work, and I am really interested in finding ways that we as professors can sort of mitigate some of those problems in our classes. So my current research program here investigates some things that we can do as faculty members to help students that are struggling with these mental health issues. Students that want to do work in mental health research with respect to sort of the intersection between mental health research and university life can contact me if they're interested in doing some of that work. Of course, students are also welcome to contact me if they want to work with infants. It's just that usually we would need another collaborator who has a lab and a bunch of equipment. But those are sort of the areas that contact me. But again, because I'm teaching stream faculty, I don't supervise too many students in research, and I'm more there for teaching and for advising in a program capacity or career-wise, that sort of thing. It's always hard for me to come up with an interesting fact, but I always think it's a little bit interesting that I actually didn't get a psychology degree until my PhD. So my undergrad, my bachelor's degree is not in psychology, and my master's degree is not in psychology. I actually, so I know a lot of students have trouble picking a program when they're first here, and especially at the end of first year. And one of the interesting things about me was that I had such a hard time picking a program in my first year of university that eventually I just petitioned my university to let me make up my own program. So I ended up sort of cobbling together all these classes that interested me, and I got to name my own degree and create this program looking at language and language acquisition issues. So so I have a lot of experience with the indecision that comes with the first couple of years of school and figuring out what you're going to do, and so I'm always happy to talk to students about that and help sort of coach you through those decisions. So it seems probably a little bit of a cop-out to say that the job I have is my dream job, but it really is. I mean, I moved to Toronto for this job from the West Coast, and my students that know me know that I miss the West Coast desperately. I talk about it all the time, but this job really is my dream job. I mean, being able to teach for the majority of my job, rather than splitting my time between research and teaching, so being able to really focus on pedagogy, really focus on my students, but also to be at such a top-tier university working with some of the best students in the country and having some of the most productive and strongest researchers as colleagues. It's really kind of the best of both worlds. And working in Scarborough particularly, I really think is the best of both worlds, because we have sort of this big name of U of T, but we have sort of a small campus feel. Everyone knows each other. We're a little, we are maybe a little bit more friendly or a little bit more personal here. So in a lot of ways, this really is it is my dream job.